Welcome back, networkers. Let's discuss how to build more engaging posts for LinkedIn. The first thing you're going to want to do is find the most engaging way to tell your story. And for this, I use what I call the Alice in Wonderland technique. If you remember when the White Rabbit met the King, the story went something like this. "Where shall I begin, please, Your Majesty?" asked the White Rabbit. "Begin at the beginning," the King said gravely, "and go on until you come to the end. Then stop." You want to make sure that you've got a great beginning, middle, and end. Tell a personal story. People love a personal story. That's really what engages people. The story that I've written today is all about how I learned to write more engaging posts. So, before I realized the power that springs from engaging a vibrant network, I did all the heavy lifting myself. As I grew in my real estate career, I realized that building a team was a more effective way of getting things done. Then, in the final section, I mentioned the fact that I finally found the right set of partners. Once I found these great partners, I no longer had to do everything myself, and boom, people are bringing deals to me. So whether or not you happen to be in commercial real estate, I think you can get the idea that I'm trying to engage here with people who are investors, and I'm giving the opportunity to share with us what sort of obstacles they've overcome in their investing journey. How did I make this post? How do you add the emojis? And how do you get the formatting into LinkedIn? Let's dive in. So the first thing I want you to do is go to this link, which you will find in the comments below. So let's say if we wanted to take this link and we want to make that bold. We can input the text here, and you can get whatever you want. You can get bold, bold italics. You can even get script. So then you just paste it right into the window, and boom, you're done. Now, I mentioned that there is a way to copy and paste smileys and other emojis. You can go into linkedin.com, and again, you can find this link below. You don't need to copy it down. And one of the cool things you can do, you can just copy and paste. But if you like using shortcut keys, there's an even easier way to do. All you have to do is press Windows and dot, and boom, it pops right up. So I'm going to put in person. What do I get for person? All right, let's do this. Let's take the person with the beard. So we'll add that in for I. And what I've noticed with these things is that most LinkedIn posts are really so dry that it's very hard to overdo it. So I would recommend putting more emojis in rather than fewer. Now, one of the most important ones that you can add, I think, are like a first, second, or third. So let's do Windows dot again and see what comes up for first. Okay, I like the metal, but there's also, I think there's one with fingers, right? You can do one, you can do two. You have to look around a little bit. You can find three or more. So I've shown you how to format your post, and I've shown you how to add emojis. So hopefully you're breaking it out like this. You're making your post a little more interesting, and notice that I also added a sort of a format tab in there by adding a few spaces, which I think makes it a little easier to read. Now, what are some other things you can do? So I say that through doing these things, I've accomplished more personal growth and enjoy more ease while accomplishing more in 1/10 of the time. So where did I find that? Go to Windows dot again, and this time we're going to go to symbols. Let's take a look for math. So you're going to click this arrow and go to the right until you get to math, and boom, you can see all these various fractions. You can do 5/8, for example. Look how good I'm doing in just 5/8 of the time. All right. One of the best things you can do with script, if you have to assign your name, for example, if you want to do some bullets, type Alt and then go to your numpad and type 0149, and boom, out pops a bullet. So now that we have a nice story that engages the listener, we have a beginning, a middle, and the end, what we can do is we can add a call to action. So your call to action may look something like this. Tell us what obstacles you've hurdled on your journey to become a better investor. Or tell us something cool you learned about how to use LinkedIn for marketing. Always remind people to like, subscribe, follow, whatever's appropriate for the social media you're using. Now, one thing that you probably don't want to do is include a link within the text of your post. And the reason for this is that the algorithm deprioritizes posts that take you away from LinkedIn. So what you can do is you can leave that in the comments below. So let everybody know, hey, when you read my post, you can find a how-to link, that'll be a link to this here video, in the comments. Some people believe that after a few days, once your post gets recognized, once it becomes popular, then you can put the link in the main body of the text. Now, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you have 3 very targeted hashtags. So I've got marketing, I've got social media marketing. Sometimes it helps to do something broad like marketing. That'll bring you a very wide audience. Social media marketing will take you right to the heart of the matter. So have some that are very domain specific, and you can also have others that are broader and bring in a wider audience. Now, you're always going to want to include images. So I've made the image ahead of time, of course. So you just click that image button and you can say done. Now there are a few things you can do. So if you want to add some accessibility, you can say format your posts for LinkedIn. So that way if somebody's using a screen reader, they can see it. Now if this was a person, we could tag the image, and you can also do some editing if you need to make it, you can straighten it out. Don't forget to put it back. Oh, that's fun. Look at that. Watch out. And boom, done. Okay, so let's take a look at the final post and what it looks like. Again, I have all kinds of formatting here. I broke things out first, second, third, and I put a summary at the end so I could illustrate the use of bullet points and have a picture. Always, always, always have a picture. Now, there are some rules for including images. You want to make sure that your aspect ratio, and that's your width to your height, is between 3:1 and 2:3. Well, that means that a simple square post like this is okay. So if you want to go to something like, and I often use something just as simple as PowerPoint, boom. What I do is I set the size, I can lock the aspect ratio. So now if I make this say 10.5, everything gets wider. That helps to make things a little easier. And then if you want, you can compress this. You can do something like put it into Photoshop. So here's another image that I have. And if you want to take your images from PowerPoint or whatever you're using, you can take those images. And what I like to do is File, and then we go to New, and make sure that the preset is to your clipboard. Set that to your clipboard, which I don't have anything on clipboard right now, so I can't do that. And that'll make sure that this window is exactly the right size. Now, if you want to make sure you have the right number of pixels, what you want to do is go to image size. Now, the rules for pixels is that you want 552 by 368 minimum. You can easily double that if you want a nice picture. And what I like to do is File, and then we go to New, and make sure that the preset is to your clipboard. Set that to your clipboard, which I don't have anything on clipboard right now, so I can't do that. And that'll make sure that this window is exactly the right size. Now, if you want to make sure you have the right number of pixels, what you want to do is go to image size. Now, the rules for pixels is that you want 552 by 368 minimum. You can easily double that if you want a nice picture, depending on how much detail you have. If you have less detail, you probably don't need as many. So here we have 576 by 864. The goal for this image was a 2 to 3 aspect ratio. That is to say that the width of 2 units to a height of 3. You want to check that, you can go to image, image size. See, we have a height of 864 and a width of 576. And as you see, that is the same as a ratio of 2 to 3. Now let's go hit Windows dot again. So what do you have here? You got emojis, you got GIFs, which can be a little bit obnoxious, but people love them. We got Kaomojis, and we've got symbols. As I showed you, we did the math symbols, but remember, there's all kinds of things you can do. Currency, that really dresses things up if you have to talk about money. We got geometric. We've got language, one of my favorites. If you ever have to work with a language other than whatever your keyboard has, find all kinds of symbols. Greek, Cyrillic, Latin, anything you can imagine. So again, make sure that you're using these things to dress up your post. Okay, so how do we make sure that we're understanding the algorithm and that LinkedIn is going to give us the very, very best placement we can possibly have? So the first thing you want to do is you want to help people engage. And we're going to help people engage by tagging our friends. So who are some of my friends? Let's go back to edit the post. Now you can't copy and paste. This is one thing in which you actually have to do the work. And I think LinkedIn is doing this for the obvious reason. They want to make sure that you're actually engaging, that you're not just mass posting junk. So who are some people here? All right, you can tag whoever's important in your life, like so, and then save the post. Now, when you do choose your hashtags, again, you want to make sure that you don't go overboard. The algorithm will actually penalize you if you have too many. Experts say you want to have 3. Then, make sure that you respond and like every comment. This will do 2 things for you. It shows the algorithm that you're actually present at the desk and that you're willing to engage. Again, they don't like people mass posting junk. If you're willing to engage with your posts, this shows that you're actually doing the right thing. The other thing it does is that it leads to more engagement. If you like their comments and comment on their comment, well, then they're likely to do the same. And if you get a little chat going in your comment section, believe me, you will get so much more engagement with your post. All right, yeah, and when you build your reach by tagging people, make sure you're tagging the right people. Tag people that are relevant. Tag people that you know. Tag people who will like, comment, and reshare your post. And finally, if you want to get really good at social media, when you have great ideas, when you're totally in the groove, what you want to do is make focus time. Push away all the distractions and bring all your faculties to bear on making these posts. And if you don't have time to complete a post, at least outline it so you can come back to it later. I'd like to thank you, and we'll see you on the flip side.